Good morning, everybody. Again, we are doing it through the internet. And today is also the Holocaust Day, Yom HaShoah. So the shiur is going to be to the memory of those who got murdered and tortured and by the Nazis, Yimach Shemam v'Zichram. And also that day we have to remember that Am Yisrael is here and is going to stay here. Am Yisrael is forever. Whatever they're going to try to do to us, nothing is going to help. Even now, with this virus going around, we hear of anti-Semitism and people writing things that the Jews are to blame. But we know all this. This is our history. But with all of this, we are still here. But there is a big lesson for us to learn. That everything we're going through, it's got a reason. We don't always see the reason, we don't always understand the reason, but definitely we have to understand that this world is only a passageway to the next world, which is the better place to be. And all those who were murdered and tortured because they were Jews, they are there, up there, in the best place that can be. And this is a comfort to us. But nevertheless, we still have to fight all those who want to kill us and to want to torture us and want to damage us. But with all this, we still must not be people full with hatred. We have to be people with love, compassion. Not senile. We're not turning our other cheek, but we understand and realize that at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We see now, this disease doesn't make a difference between a religious Jew, a non-religious Jew, a Gentile, a Goy. Doesn't matter who you are. You are a human being. The whole world is affected. Unbelievable. To show us that at the end of the day, we have to be, all of us, together as one. First of all, it starts from Am Yisrael. We are the light for the Goy. And for this, we have to understand what are we supposed to do now? What is our job? And sometimes things like this happen in order to let us sit by ourselves and think, what can I improve? What is the problem? It reminds me of a beautiful story about this doctor he was a great guy. He used to do a lot of chesed, helping people. One day he meets this great rabbi and he sits and he's starting like to show off all the things he's doing. He tells the rabbi, Rabbi, when people come to me for treatment and haven't got the money to pay, I'm giving them a free treatment. The rabbi says, yes, very nice. I also do this. The doctor thinks to himself, what is he doing? But is he a doctor? He says, maybe he thinks that people that come to him to consult and all, like this is like for he's in his point of view, it's treatment. So he's doing it free. Okay. Then he tells him, sometimes they come to me and they've got no place to stay. They've got no money to stay in a hotel. So I pay for the hotel for them. The rabbi says, yes, very nice. I do also the same. The guy thinks to himself, this doctor, what is this rabbi talking about? What, he's putting people in hotels? Says, maybe he thinks maybe sometimes people come to him, they've got no place to sleep, or to sleep at his house. Okay. Then he tells him, sometimes they haven't got money to buy the medicine. So I give them everything. I buy them also the medicine. The rabbi says, yes, very nice. I also do the same. Now the doctor couldn't, what's going on here? He says, what is this guy? He says, I asked the rabbi, are you a doctor? What, you give medicine? You put people in hotel? You give them treatments? What's going on here? He says, yes, yes. I also talk only about the good things I'm doing. And this is a big lesson. We go through life. And we are good people. And it's very important to look at the good things we do. But sometimes we have to sit and look, what can we improve? Where is a place to do better? And we always, as long as we're here in this world, we can do better. And that's the idea. Not only drag and talk about all the good things you did. Try and find out, what can I do more? What can I fix? And this is, by the way, one of the ideas of our Parsha Tazria Metzora, talking mainly about leprosy. Leprosy is very interesting. It's not, it looks like a physical disease, but it's not leprosy we know today. It's a spiritual disease that's got physical signs. And what is the sign? Your hair. And it's very interesting. Why? Because where does the air come from the inside and grow outside? In other words, they bring out what you've got inside. And this is exactly the idea. Sometimes we think we are all right. We don't see our problem. Sometimes we need somebody else to see the problem, or sometimes we need to have a sign outside. And for example, this guy who's got leprosy, he has to go out of the camp and he sits there alone. And if it was a physical disease, he had to wash every few hours. As today, we've got all those signs all the way. You have to be very hygienic. You have to clean your hands all the time and be clean and look after. But this guy sits outside. He's not allowed to wash. He's not allowed to cut his hair. Imagine to yourself this guy after a few days, how he smells. And instead of the disease, it's a skin disease. It should be worse. Nothing changed. Unless he starts thinking, what did I do wrong? Why did God punish me this way? And then we start thinking this way, he sees, the disease is starting to disappear. And when he realizes that the problem is that I was talking badly on people, that I was very arrogant, that's my problem. Then he sees, more, less and less and less. The disease is going away. This is leprosy. What does it mean today? Our problem today is, if you look at the papers, you look wherever you look, unfortunately, it's all full with Lashon Hara. And also in the Parsha is written, if it's got a white part, it's got leprosy. But if the white grows all over the body, covers all his body, he's pure. How can it be? A guy's got a disease. If he's got only a half a body disease, it's terrible. But if he's got it on the whole body, it's a disaster. But the Torah says, pure. Because the idea of this disease is not the disease. It's what it's for. And if, for example, you have to put the guy who talks Lashon Hara outside the camp today, who would sit outside the camp? Let's ask another question. Who is going to stay in camp? Unfortunately, we're not far away from this picture. Lashon Hara, Rechilut, is everywhere, unfortunately. So, what should we do? Should we stop talking? No. Why not? Because when we go to Sefer Bereshit and to see in the creation, it's written there, ויצר השם אלוקים את האדם עפר מן האדמה, ויפח באפיו נשמת חיים, ויהי האדם לנפש חיה. So God created the human being from the dust from the earth, and he put him in the soul of life. It says onkelos. ויפח באפיו נשמת חיים, ונפח באפו נשמת דחיי דהבת באדם לרוח ממעלה. It was the spirit of talking. So what is human being? What makes the difference between us and animals and the rest of the creation? The power of speech. This brings us to the sacrifice that the guy who is purified from the leprosy brings. With this sacrifice, he brings 2 birds. And the Torah is telling us, Shtei tziporim chayot teorot, which is also very strange. 2 live birds. What do you mean live birds? What do you think for a minute is going to be dead birds? Dead birds is treif. You cannot bring a sacrifice of a dead bird. It has to be a live bird, a pure bird. It has to be with no damages. What does it mean? What is the Torah telling us? Shtei tziporim chayot. But this again, why does it bring birds? Because birds are the whole day, they're talking the whole day, the birds. You go outside, you see, they're against the talking of the guy who got the leprosy. You should be very careful with what he talks. So the Torah is telling us, one bird you sacrifice, and the other bird you send free. So I'm asking you a question. If you're going to sacrifice only one bird, why is the Torah asking you to bring two? What is the idea? The idea is, this guy, when he realizes that the problem was that he was talking badly on people, separating people, that he was talking highly on himself, he was in an ego trip, he would think now, I don't want to be in this situation again, so I'm not going to talk. I'm going to stop talking. As we said, shomer piv ulshono, shomer mitzarot nafsho, keep your mouth, you've got no problem. Says the Torah to this guy, no, definitely not. One bird is against the bad talking, you are bringing it as a sacrifice. The other bird is for good talking, so you send it free, because you have to free your mouth to talk the right things, the good things. And you should talk, to tell about the Chafetz Chaim, that he was, let's say, the priest of Lashon Hara. He was talking all his life against Lashon Hara. He's got books on Lashon Hara. What do you think? That this guy maybe was hardly talking. He was not stop talking, but only Torah, only good things. And that's the idea. That's chayot, that's living birds. The living of a human being is the power of speech, but only if the power of speech is used in a good way. To say good things on people, not bad things. Not to be arrogant, to be humble. The inside should be shown on the outside, or to be more correct, the outside shouldn't cover what you've got inside. It should reveal what you've got inside. In other words, you should be the same from the outside and the inside. And of course, the inside should be good. And this reminds me, a few years ago, this guy was starting davening with us in shul. And he became friendly with me. And then one day he comes and he tells me, I want to invite you to eat. Takes me to this fancy restaurants, comes with this fancy car. And he tells me, I am an investor and I have a group of investors from the States and they want to invest here in Israel to build a business. And I asked about you and I saw you and I think that you can help me. What do you think? So I was very happy about it. Especially that at that time my business wasn't very, very, very good. So this was an opportunity for me. And this guy started taking me all around Israel, looking for ideas and we had meetings with consultants, whatever. And he spends money. He drives a beautiful car, lives in a beautiful hotel. Looks like a rich guy, very rich guy. Then he had this idea, maybe to open a business like IKEA. And I'm in the furniture business. For me, it sounds unbelievable. So we start looking, and then suddenly one day comes to me, says, there are problems now in the States with the real estate, and my people are in real estate, and they've got problem with money. Maybe you can also put some money in this business. And the whole idea was that I was, let's say, the mind behind the business, because my profession was furniture, and the investor, they're going to put the money in, and we're going to be partner. I'm going to be the knowledge and run the business, and they're going to bring the money. Suddenly, it changed. And I, of course, didn't have any intention to invest money. So I told them, sorry, that's not my idea. Didn't think about it. The next day, he wasn't there. Did you see him lately? I also didn't. Vanished. And I'm thanking God that saved me from this guy. He was playing this game, and unfortunately in life, it's not only in the business field, it's also in the spiritual field, it's in everything. Some people, they look from the outside like, unbelievable people, but from the inside, rotten. And that's exactly what is the idea of the leprosy, to take out what you've got inside. And this is, when we see this, we have to realize that's talking to us. I'm not talking about this guy. We also sometimes not exactly telling what we feel from the inside outside. We also not exactly how we look from the outside inside. And we should make sure that we improve ourselves. As I told you the story with this doctor. Yes, we are good people. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. We do a lot of good things. But let us try and look what is there to improve. Let us try and look what is there to fix. And everybody's got something to fix. And remember those stories. Remember, don't play a game. Be real. Be yourself. Be truthful to yourself and to the people around you. And maybe when we learn to be humble, it will help us to see things in a different eye and to realize that we all are part of one people, Am Yisrael. And with this power, Be'ezrat Hashem, God will take us out of Egypt again, from this virus, from this situation. And in this day, this Holocaust day, remembering all the sacrifices that Am Yisrael brought, will God, Be'ezrat Hashem, take us out of Egypt and bring us the Yeshua and the Mashiach b'mera b'yameinu. Amen. All the best.